By now we know it's the year of the brooch. We all know how to style a brooch on the side of a shirt or on a lapel, but I'm going to show you some fun non-broachy ways of how to use them. Starting off with your purse. This is kind of a maximalist approach. There's no distinct pattern. You kind of go with your instinct, play around, get creative, have fun. The beauty of this is that it's not permanent, so you can move it around as desired. If this is a bit too much for you, you can also just do one brooch like this. Very Ralph Lauren, which you guys know I'm obsessed with right now. It really takes this purse from being kind of like boring, nothing, simple, to just a little bit more interesting and elevated. This brooch is one of my favorites. I always feel like belts are the punctuation of an outfit, but if you don't want to wear a belt and you just want a little bit extra bling, use a brooch. How cute is that? I used vintage buttons for this vest, but my initial idea was to actually use my vintage brooches. However, I decided to use buttons instead because I wanted them to be permanent. But if you specifically look for brooches that you know will be on a piece forever, I think it's a really cool way to make wearable art. So the same idea as the belt buckle, you can also use a brooch as a necklace. It's just a piece of ribbon that I put a vintage brooch on and then actually added an earring underneath. The inspo here was Wuthering Heights and Margot Robbie's amazing looks on her press tour. If you don't have a lot of brooches, you can also use earrings. Just like I used the other dangling pearl earring in the choker necklace, I'm going to use this as a single earring. So I just put the earring through the buttonhole and fastened it at the back. And it just adds a little bit of interest at the top. I also put a brooch here. If you are going to do a brooch on a collared shirt like this, I would suggest doing something a little bit more oversized to make it look a little bit less obvious and a little bit more modern. And then finally, your shoes. I do have two of these zebra brooches, so I could match them if I wanted to, but I think it looks cool having two different brooches. I think it just looks a little bit more high fashion. That's it. I hope I've convinced you. If not, let me know why. If you try any of these, let me know. Yay for brooches.